nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me. I hope it never ends. This being more than friends. Yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day. Yeah. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me. Falling into your arms, dancing up in the stars. Nowhere I'd rather be than with you. Oh, oh, can't believe you love me. Oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, still can't believe you love me. Oh, can't believe you love me. Oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, still can't believe you love me. Tomorrow feels like sunlight spilling through the blinds. I don't know if I'll reach it, maybe I won't mind. I keep returning, tracing steps I left behind, as if the past could teach me what I'd like to find. The morning moves in color soft across the floor. I try to hold the moments, learning more and more. The lightest touch from you is all I can afford, and hope that what I give is something you can adore. And all this time I wonder, am I getting closer to you, getting closer to you? After all this time, have you made up your mind? I wonder, am I getting closer to you, getting closer to you? After all this time, have you made up your mind? Tomorrow feels like sunlight, warmer than before. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm wanting more. I keep returning, though I've left some things behind. And maybe now I'm closer to what I left to find. What I left to find. What I left to find. I will be the last to leave. I won't say a word, just let you breathe. I won't make a sound. I won't slow you down. I knew we were on borrowed time, just a passing streak, nothing you would keep. I fell in too deep. And as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September, when red and gold paint the sky. And as far as though maybe I pretended, oh, I wish it never ended. I held on with all my might, still waiting on that last goodbye. See you standing by the door, watching the leaves as they fall once more. In the silence we made, I couldn't find the words to say. They linger in my mind. Oh, I wished you'd stay. Oh, I wished you'd stay. And as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September, when red and gold paint the sky. And as far as though maybe I pretended, oh, I wish it never ended. I held on with all my might, still waiting on the last goodbye. Last goodbye. Last goodbye. Last goodbye. And as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September, when red and gold paint the sky. And as far as though maybe I pretended, oh, I wish it never ended. I held on with all my might, Take a step into the river, get down on your knees. Come to the mountain while taking in the view. You will find that life is greater than you knew. When you go through the storm, I will hold you, keep you warm. When you stay in the night, I will shelter, I will fight, I will fight. Oh, you're broken and you're shattered at the point of no return. You pick up the pieces and you let the bridges burn. So come to the water, you're sailing with the breeze. Take a step into the river where you will find peace. When you go through the storm, I will hold you, keep you warm. When you stay in the night, I will shelter, I will fight. Oh yeah, I will fight. When you go through the storm, I will hold you, keep you warm. When you stay in the night, I will shelter, I will fight, I will fight. I will fight. So come to the water where you will find peace. Take a step into the river and get down on your knees. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet for days of old lang syne. And here's a hand, my trusty friend, and here's a hand of thine. We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll talk